Good afternoon, everybody. Pigskin Pete here. I guess it's Saturday now. So, happy Saturday to everybody. I know it's late. I just got home. Been moonlighting for that extra cheese. Anybody who has a mortgage payment knows what I'm talking about. Let's see here. I'm going to get into the comment section here. I'm glad to see a lot of you guys showing up. Miranda Dansby, hello. SEC Football Tube, Tiger Nation, College Football Maniac, Prince 6'1". How are you guys doing this early Saturday morning? So I saw somebody in the comment section talking about Catfish's stream earlier. If I sound like I'm talking quiet, it's because I have kids and everybody's who's asleep. And I don't know why this damn thing keeps beeping on my watch. I don't know what that's all about. First of all, the Urban Meyer thing. I heard that Urban has made a statement saying that he looks forward to back working with the team here in a couple of days. Does anybody really think that's going to happen? I don't. I still think he's going to get fired. I mean, I don't know any better than anybody else does. I'm sorry, my ear is itching like hell. But I guess I wouldn't be shocked if it did happen. But yeah, so Catfish is stream, that Ohio State guy that called in. I go from one team to another, who I consider to be the most delusional fan bases in the country. First, it was Carolina. Well, South Carolina is always going to be at the top of the list. Then Michigan, and now clearly Ohio State fans are right up there. But yeah, Uncle Lou's rebuttal to that guy was epic. It was great. I wish I could have called in, but I wasn't in a place where I could do that. So anyways, there is no real format to this stream. I'm just getting on here with you guys, and I'm gonna let you guys lead the show here. So I'm gonna read your comments because I finally figured out how to do that, and we'll go from there. So Smallval, welcome to the stream, sir. Smallval. I got a couple of people to join that fantasy football league. I think that you said you were going to send them invites, and I'm hoping you can either confirm or deny whether or not they actually joined it right now in the stream, if you'd like to, sir. I'm looking forward to that. And I really appreciate you inviting me to that, because I've been looking for a fantasy league to join, so I really appreciate that. Like Donald Trump used to say, you're fired. Yeah. I think, here's my opinion on this. And again, my opinions are like buttholes, right? Everyone has one. And I'm the biggest butthole out there. And I'm trying not to cuss, even though butthole sounds way more offensive than asshole. I just cussed. Oh, man. I'm not the brightest bulb in this shed, but I am the coolest bulb in the shed, because my light doesn't ever turn on. But I think that what Ohio State is doing is trying to find a way to keep them. And I mean, from a revenue standpoint, can you blame them? I mean, I don't know. SEC Football Tube. I saw that you sent me something that's saying to invite you as a friend. I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't been in a place where I can do that. I saw that you sent me a link. I don't know what that is. I didn't know you could friend people on YouTube. Is that a thing? Whenever I have a minute, I'll click on the link and see what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. You just saw Dabo's interview today at training camp. Apparently, Jackson Carman came in with 370 pounds. They have all the way down to 338. Prince 6'1". I'm glad you brought up Jackson Carman, because for any of you viewers out there who don't know who Jackson Carman is, he's the 5-star offensive lineman that we took out of Ohio, and he chose Clemson over Ohio State. Now, how much of a genius does Jackson Carman look like right now? Not going to Ohio State and choosing Clemson. I mean, he's clearly a genius for picking Clemson in the first place, but now he looks like Einstein. So, good morning or good afternoon, Clemson Jacob. Justin Ross weighed 209. Justin Ross is a big kid. He's going to end up being like a Mike Williams size receiver. I don't think that he's a similar style of player to Mike Williams, though. I don't think that Justin Ross is going to end up being a 50-50 ball guy like Mike Williams was. He's much faster, I think. Justin Ross is he was really the diamond in the rough get for us to get him, take him right out from underneath Alabama's nose. Was great. He's going to be a great player here in the future. I still think that T. Higgins is the guy to keep an eye out for, but Justin Ross, in the next few years, is going to be a big time player, no doubt about it. Ohio State fans were telling me when we landed Carmen that it was very lazy. Yeah, I saw that too. Clemson Jacob on Twitter. Talk about, a wife scorned. They were. I was following that whole recruitment with Jackson Carman on Twitter, and the Ohio State fans were kissing his ass left and right. And there I go again with the cussing. I can't help it. Sorry. And the minute he announced that he was going to Clemson, they all started coming out of the woodwork saying, "Oh, he's a lazy guy. He's going to be a big disappointment to Clemson. We don't want him anyways." Whatever. Sour grapes. I mean, it couldn't be any more clear that they were so butthurt that he chose Clemson over Ohio State. It was borderline pitiful and embarrassing and sad is what it was. They trust me, they would give anything to have him. I'm glad we got him. Justin Ross, T. Higgins, Frank Ladson Jr. next year. Yeah. They don't call Clemson wide receiver U for anything. We already know that first of all, we've become not only wide receiver U, we've become defensive end U. And nobody's going to point that out. I'm going to be the first, okay? Write it down. What's today's date? 8/4 at 12:11 a.m. on a Saturday. That nobody talks about the defensive ends that we put in the NFL every year. And we've got 2 world-class defensive ends right now and 2 other ones sitting on the bench. And what's up, Comic Dude 45? Yeah. I'm getting to the point now. The closer we get to the season, because last year when I first got on YouTube and had really no listeners or viewers, I talked a lot of crap, and the more followers I've got, the less crap I've talked. Certainly during the off season, because talking crap in the off season is basically pointless. Even though I did that anyways. But the closer we get to the season, the less nice Pigskin Pete is going to be to some of these other fan bases who are completely out of their mind. And it is what it is. Clemson right now, and you can call me a homer, you can call me a delusional, you can call me whatever you want. I don't really care because I'm a Clemson Tiger, and Clemson Tiger fans have every leg to stand on when it comes to talking crap right now. And I'm going to take it to a whole nother level this season. Don't even worry about that. These people, they look for, you're doing great whenever you have as many people hating on you as people have Clemson right now hating on them. I'll tell you this story. So tonight, I ran into this guy who is a Tennessee fan. Now, I don't have any problem with Tennessee fans at all. I really don't. We don't have a rivalry with them. I mean, the only thing I guess I could say that I don't like about Tennessee is that they're in the SEC. But here's the things I do like about Tennessee. First of all, most of their fans that I know I like. They don't have any rivalry with Clemson as far as playing games. We both hate the Gamecocks. We both wear an awesome color orange. Well, our color orange is clearly much more awesome, but we both wear orange. So there's a lot we have in common. But this guy had the nerve, I tell you, to say, yeah, Tennessee's down right now. And by right now, I guess he meant for the past 10 years. He said, but if there was a rivalry between Clemson, we would dominate it. He said dominate it. Oh, boy. I don't know. I didn't even say anything back to him. I just laughed at him. I mean, that's how funny it was. I mean, geez. Dominate it. They're like 19-35 in the past 10 years in their own conference. Pitiful. To me, when you've hit your peak yet as a program, great recruiting is just starting to show. Now, I don't know why this damn thing keeps beeping. It's bugging the crap out of me. So, Comic Dude, I will say, though, that the reason... Here's what a lot of people don't remember, okay? Is that at the time that Bowden got fired, and they were looking for an interim coach, and they chose the wide receiver coach. Now, you would normally think that when a head coach gets fired, a head coach with tenure, of all things. I mean, listen, Tommy Bowden was there for a long time, and they're choosing an interim coach. You would think the offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator, somebody with a higher level coordinator position. They chose Dabo Swinney as a wide receiver coach. The reason they chose him is because he was responsible for getting the likes of Spiller there. Dabo was already regarded, even as a wide receiver coach, as an elite recruiter. That's why, and the players loved him. So that's there's two reasons there. There was probably multiple reasons, but those were the main two reasons. And the athletic director at the time was bright enough, thank God for this guy, to see that Dabo was a diamond in the rough. And that all really began with the recruiting. He was able to recruit elite offensive players, receivers, quarterbacks, whatever, running backs. And so that's really what happened with that. So, the elite recruiting started immediately with Dabo. It took him a while to translate that into, 10, 11 win seasons. But he was an elite recruiter from the start. Yeah, my watch. I don't know what's going on with my watch. I really don't. Yeah, you need talent to win games. Players play, coaches coach. If you don't have the players, then you're just pissing in the wind. Man, we are just so lucky to have Dabo. When you go down a list of 5 stars, you see certain schools just offer them. You see Clemson is very selective. Yeah, so that's the other thing. And this Prince 6'1" he must be on the same wavelength, or either reading my mind, or either he's a genius like me. I don't know. Probably all three. But if you look at the landscape in football, look at what's going on with Ohio State. This is perfect for what's going on right now. Look at what's going on at Florida. Okay? Look what's going on with Ole Miss and Hugh Freeze. Look what was going on with Art Briles at Baylor. Clemson and Dabo Swinney don't just recruit great players. They would take a 3-star with character who has a vision and a will to win over a 5-star who dresses up like a Teletubby and runs around with airsoft guns. That's the difference. And there's going to be a time where people outside of Clemson fans start to realize that this is the recipe for success. And I will give credit to Nick Saban. He's very similar in that way. The two best coaches in college football, in my opinion, are Dabo Swinney and Nick Saban. Now, obviously, Nick Saban is the GOAT right now, just due to titles alone and his sustained period of excellence. But that's the recipe. You can have a whole team full of 5 stars, and you can end up like Florida. That's all there is to it. Yes, great minds think alike. And not only is Prince 6'1" a graduate of Clemson, but he also lives in the best city in the world, in Charleston, South Carolina. So he has me one upped because I didn't graduate from Clemson. So Prince 6'1" is actually even smarter than I am, which is very rare. It's like seeing a white tiger. Very rare. Yeah, frying pans too. Team chemistry is everything, small ball, and this is what Tennessee has been lacking. Now, to go back to this guy I ran into tonight, the Tennessee fan. I didn't even try to get into it with him when he was saying that basically he was jealous of Clemson is what it all came down to. But I asked him, I said, what do you think about Jeremy Pruitt? And he's like, well, I'm optimistic, but we're just so terrible. We're so terrible. We're so terrible. And I kept telling him, what the hell is going on with this watch? I get agitated at the littlest things. Anyway, I felt like I was more optimistic about Tennessee's program than he was, and he was a Tennessee fan. So anyway, I don't know what that has to do with anything, but it's just what happened. Yeah, that Tiger Nation. We just signed another 10-year deal with Nike, worth $50 million, because our brand is booming right now. Not only that, the Chip Smith. I don't believe I've seen Chip on here before. I apologize, sir, if you have been a longtime viewer and commenter, but thank you for stopping in tonight. I appreciate it a lot. Chip, are you a Clemson fan? Or go ahead and state your fandom while you're here. It doesn't matter. You could even be a Gamecock fan, for all I care. Ryan Stanfield in the house. Blake Ellis. Blake Ellis, another Clemson fan, my man. Ryan Stanfield's an Alabama fan, but we still love him because he's good people. And he knows how to cook a squirrel medium well. So that's always important. Miranda Dansby, I wish that more... I mean, I know I'm so good looking. I know that your boyfriend is on the stream, so I'm not hitting on you, and I'm married anyways. So go ahead and take that out of the picture. But I'm such a handsome specimen to look at that I can't even believe that there's not more women on my streams. It's hard for me to fathom. I don't understand why it doesn't happen. So if you have any girlfriends, just let them know that there's this really cute man on YouTube named Pigskin Pete, and tell him to sub me up and come on here and chat with me. I'd love to chat with him. Yeah. Small, yeah. A Butch Jones is a meme. He's a walking meme, is what he is. Darian Kendrick, yes. Darian Kendrick, another one. The whole wide receiver core for Clemson could start at any school in the country, period. End of story. Even our walk-ons are elite. Go ahead and chew on that. It might not be smart for us to watch a Clemson game together, Pete, because we might tear some stuff up. Well, we're going to watch some Clemson's games together, Tiger Nation, because I'm going to be streaming during some of them. And it's going to go one of two ways. It's either going to be epic, it's either going to be YouTube gold, or it's going to be a total bust, and I'll have 0 subscribers the next day because I pissed everybody off. I don't know which one's going to happen, and that's what's the most fun thing about it is it's like Christmas. You never know what you're going to get, and you may end up hating your present, or you may end up loving it. It is what it is. We're going to find out together, sir. I look forward to it. Miranda Dansby says she was just telling her boyfriend that she's the only girl on the stream ever and she's surrounded by all of us guys. I feel sorry for you. That's why I think you need to tell your girlfriends to check us out. Get a little bit more estrogen in here. I mean, I could ask, some of my neighbors around here that where I live, that are Gamecock fans to come on, and we can get a lot more estrogen in here just by getting Gamecock fans in here. That'll work too. Most underrated game this year, take my pick. Oh, who said that? Comic Dude 45. So, man, you just blew my mind. There's so many underrated games. For me to pick one, I'd have to go conference by conference because there's not just one in the whole country that I can think of. So I'd have to. What in the hell? I'm taking this watch off. That's it. That's it. Tired of that crap. I'd have to break it down conference by conference. So I'd have to do one for each conference. And but that is food for thought. I will definitely address that. You gave me some homework to do. I'll do that next stream. I will answer that question. Yeah, no, Prince 6'1". I know. I'm not going to show the screen at all when I'm live streaming. You won't see the TV screen. It's just going to be a live play-by-play and reaction. The TV screen is actually going to be behind my camera. I'm going to be sitting on my couch watching the game, and the camera's going to be between me and the screen. I'm not going to show any of the game. So I know that. I know how that all works. Chip Smith, thank you for joining the stream again, sir. How many points per game do you think we will give up? And yes, you're a diehard Clemson fan. Well, welcome. Chip Smith is clearly one of the 80,000 smartest people in the world since he's a Clemson fan, and he asked a great question. How many points per game do you think we'll give up? I think, and I told this, I'm glad you asked me that. See, this is the thing about Clemson fans is we're on the same wavelength, because I was having that same conversation today with my father-in-law. I told him, I said, I wouldn't be surprised. Last year we gave up, during the regular season, we gave up, I think we were number one in the country at points allowed, at 13 points on average per game. We'll beat that this year. I'm going to say 11 points per game on average during the regular season this year will be Clemson's defensive average. Tavion Feaster lost 10 pounds. He's already the fastest guy. He was a track runner in high school. You guys are a trip. Yeah, Clemson's the best defense in college football right now, and I know if you're an Alabama fan out there, yeah, you're going to dispute that. But, and listen, I'm not. They still have to play the games. People love to remind me that of all the time. Hey, you can sit here and talk about how Clemson's going to do this, Clemson's going to do that. You still have to play the game. Like I don't know that they still have to play the game. Like I'm an idiot. Definitely the best defensive line in the country. Show me one that's better. Show me. I'm waiting. I mean, there's other defensive lines out there. Ohio State has a great defensive line every year. Alabama has a great defensive line every year. Even Auburn is going to have a great defensive line. But you've got 4 starting, most likely first-round draft picks. Maybe one of the 4 might be a second-round guy. But come on. It's not even close. It's borderline unfair this year. It just is. Steel Curtain. Yeah. Orange Crush. How about that? Bring back the Orange Crush from 1981. Clemson's offensive gave Alabama 14 points. Alabama. Yeah, no. See, another great point by a genius Clemson fan, Chip Smith. These glasses hurt my ears. Is that playoff game? Clemson's defense played awesome. There was a couple of plays that were questionable, but for overall, they pretty much shut Alabama's offense down for the most part. It was a combination of bad offensive play by Clemson and really good defensive play by Alabama that really, made that game lopsided. You hope that who loses every game they play? I'm assuming you're talking about South Carolina. I do too. I hear my phone. I hear my watch beeping across the room over there. Do you hear that? I'll have to go put it in the trash can. They're going to make a movie about our defensive line. They might. College football maniac, who's a Gamecock fan, and he's a trooper for being in here, says if Clemson goes to the Natty this year, Trevor will win it for them. I mean, I would love to agree with that. I'm just so lost of what to think. I used to have a definite opinion on that whole thing, and now I'm just so lost with thinking about the quarterback situation at Clemson gives me a headache. I mean, I had to take 3 Advil 30 minutes prior to thinking about the quarterback situation. And here's where I stand at this point, because it's what I get asked the most. It's the most frequent question I get. Is when do you think Trevor Lawrence is going to start? Do you think Kelly Bryant can get it all done? And every other question in between. And the fact of the matter is, at this point, I've confused myself on my own thoughts, if that's even possible. At this point, I'm going to trust the Clemson coaching staff because they know there's a reason they're coaches and I'm not. And I think that they will make the best decision. I do really believe, and this isn't just me being a homer and a Dabo Swinney lover. I think that Dabo Swinney deserves the respect to make that decision. What's best for the team. I really do believe that he will start whoever is the most capable guy. Now, I was very critical last year of Dabo Swinney for playing Kelly Bryant in that Syracuse game when he was clearly hurt. Before the game even started, he was hurt. He was limping around back there like a cripple trying to trip through Walmart on his way to the hunting section. But it is what it is. I'm still going to trust him because I think he knows what he's doing. And I think that if Trevor Lawrence separates himself from Kelly Bryant, he will make that change. So we'll see. Hunter Renfrow was stumbling over his words today trying to compliment Kelly Bryant. Yeah, that's the other part of this whole thing that's confusing is that you're welcome, Miranda Dansby. That's the other thing that's so confusing about this is that you have all of the veteran players for Clemson backing Kelly Bryant in this conversation, when it comes to the media. And you have to ask yourself, if you're a real Clemson fan, are these veteran players backing him because they're, really good friends with him? They've been on the team with him for 3, some of them 4 years? Or do they really believe what they're saying? I don't know. I think it's probably a little bit of a combination of both. I mean, listen, if you've been playing on the same team with Kelly Bryant for 4 years and you're friends, you guys go out and do stuff together. So hell, you might even be his roommate for some of them. Are you just gonna be like, oh, this hot, the hottest freshman to come in since Deshaun Watson comes in there, 5-star recruit, highly touted, everyone in the whole country wanted him, comes in there, and are you just gonna all of a sudden jump, turn your back on Kelly Bryant if he's your friend, and start saying, oh no, Trevor Lawrence is the guy? No, of course you're not. It's just you just never know. What's up, Billy Dawson? How you doing tonight, sir? Another Bama fan. Yeah, outside of Clemson fans, I got to say, well, Georgia fans too. But Alabama fans have definitely been DeGoat Watson in the house too. Alabama fans have definitely been my favorite fan base to communicate with you on YouTube here on my channel. Big time supporters. And I made a video, and this isn't just new. Okay, so anyone's like, oh, you're just saying that now, You can go back and watch a video when I had nobody watching these streams. I made a video called "Why Clemson and Alabama Run College Football." I think I invite everybody to go back and watch that video because it was epic and fabulous, just like everything I do. But it pointed out, well, the respect that Clemson and Alabama fans have for each other. I don't have any problem with Alabama fans, even though that we're playing each other every year in big games. Their fans don't bother me one bit. I think that those 3 games have been epic, and the winner of each one of those games has deserved it. Period. Did I watch Uncle Lou's live streams on Wednesday and Thursday? Very hilarious. I watched parts of them. I think I saw the one on Wednesday. I can't remember. I watched one of them, or most of one of them, and I will go back and watch them, the ones I haven't seen, the way I do with other, video makers that I haven't seen. DeGoat Watson. You said yesterday, I think it was, that you're still in Egypt, right? And you said that you were going to see the pyramids today, I believe. I'm keeping tabs on you, sir. You've been in Egypt for a month. You are basically an Egyptian. I mean, I'm sure when you come back to Clemson, you're going to be walking like this. You guys remember that? Walk like an Egyptian. Did you go see the pyramids today, sir? If you didn't, I'm going to be extremely disappointed in you. Blake Ellis, Jordan Leggett. I mean, you can't pinpoint it to one play, but Jordan Leggett definitely made the most important catch on that drive. I mean, that was a 1 in a million catch. You guys remember that song? Walk like an Egyptian. I mean, come on, man. Talk about a classic. You guys are tripping me out. Peete pulling out the Bengals or whatever song. That wasn't the Bengals, was it? I don't know. When that song came out, I guess I was like 8 or 9 years old. I remember being like 8 years old watching Paula Abdul videos, like just be like, Paula Abdul was smoking hot back in the day. And I was 8. I remember when Watson got helicoptered. Oh, that's a highlight. He got helicoptered, and then what happened? It is the Bengals. All right. See? I'm sorry. I'm so out of it right now. I think I got like 3 hours sleep last night. And I've been up all day, and here it is, 1 o'clock in the morning again. Super tired. The Mummy. Oh, man. You're about to go into the room and turn this volume up. Can't hear shit. See, Ryan Stanfield. I'm trying not to cuss on my stream, sir. And I just did because I just read your comment. So I'm blaming you for that. You got JC's Dade watching this movie. Her mom and her sis whole damn family is here. Who's JC's Dade? The Bengals group was hot. All right, I do better off not watching you guys on these watching the comments, because I get so enthralled in what the hell you guys are talking about. I don't even know what the hell I'm doing anymore. So I'm a better freelancer than anything. I did have a chance to watch the Bobby Durkins guest visit last night, and it was. But anybody who doesn't think, I don't care what team you pull for, if you don't think Bobby Durkins is a friggin' hilarious, I mean, he should be a comic. He is one of the funniest people I've ever talked to in my life. Who's Jake Bentley? Jake Bentley, he is a kid who came into South Carolina when he was like 13 years old. I think he graduated from 8th grade, came right to South Carolina. He's a spokesperson for the Proactive Acne program. He likes to lie, not only to the country, but to himself, and say things like never again will I have a pimple bigger than my own brain. Never again will I throw an interception until the next play. Never again will I lose to Clemson until I lose to Clemson every time I play them. Never again will I play for such a horrible coach like Will Muschamp. Never again will I fail my classes at South Carolina. Never again will I not get drafted in the first round because I'm such a moron. Never again will I get embarrassed on national TV in front of 8 million people because I said some shit that I really shouldn't have said, but I said it anyways. But even though I shouldn't have said it, I still said it. But I'm going to say it again next year probably because I'm an idiot. What else? That's about it. Yeah. Never again. Yeah. You got me messed up with this Jake Bentley stuff. Hey, Jake Bentley, I hope you come across this video, sir. I do. You know who's not going to come across this video at any point in time? Is a Clemson player. And you want to know why? Because they have a media blackout, a social media blackout, self-imposed. If I'm Jake Bentley or a Gamecock, I would self-impose a football ban on myself. I just wouldn't play football anymore. Blake Ellis. I'm glad that you brought that up. See this? Hey man, I'm knocking shit over here. Blake Ellis. I'm glad you brought that up. See, this is one reason why I watch the comments, because every once in a while, people like Blake Ellis put in there a diamond in the rough. And I got to tell you, I heard that live, Blake Ellis. Greg McElroy. I think I tweeted something about this. So, and you know what? I normally like Greg McElroy. I think he actually is pretty good broadcaster. But he said something that was so asinine and retarded that I cannot let this go. There is no excuse for this. He's living on another freaking planet. He said that if you want to play putt-putt, and I can't remember. I need to read it. I wish I could read it. He said if you want to have a feel-good program and play putt-putt and have a good time and have, the coaches tell you you're great and basically saying if you want to go to a fruity, fluffy program and play games all day and have people tell you you're great, then you go to places like Clemson or Florida State. If you want to win national titles and be great, then you go to places like Georgia and Alabama. Can somebody remind Greg McElroy, since Clemson put a putt-putt course in their school, how many games they've won compared to Georgia? This guy's lost his friggin' mind. Everybody loves putt-putt, by the way, even Alabama fans. Nick Saban got a hole-in-one in putt-putt yesterday. I promise you. Greg McElroy is an SEC homer, and he tries to pretend as if he's not, but he is. And, it is what it is. Whatever. Here's the thing is, here's what I respect. And my brain hurts from even thinking this right now. I have more respect for people like Paul Feinbaum, who are clearly SEC homers, but don't hide it, than somebody like Greg McElroy, who disguises himself as an objective observer of college football and then says some stupid crap like that. If you want to run out of gas on a boat at the lake, go to Alabama. I'm going to give you guys a chance to make the decision for me. So I've really got to pee, like really bad right now. So would you like me to end the stream? I can do that. If you guys are up for another 15 or 20 minutes of chat, I can go pee and you guys can chat amongst yourselves. I'm leaving it up to you. The first person, well, I'm going to take a vote here. I'll take a vote. I'm watching. You're about to pee too? Yeah. I'm purposely not entertaining you guys tonight. I'm letting you be the entertainment. So you'll wait. All right, I'll stay. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put on this. And I'm going to go pee, and I'll be back in 5. All right, I'm back. No, I'm not shitting. I was peeing and get myself a refill of water. Is a Prince 6'1". If you have my number, if you want to call in, go ahead and do that, sir. That'll liven the show up a little bit. I do want to ask somebody a question though. I have a question about does anybody out there have a MacBook Pro computer? If you do, let me know, please. So I have a problem with my battery life. This thing, I love Apple, but it pisses me off because they advertise that they have a 12-hour battery life on these laptops, and I'm like, great. So if I'm streaming during a game, I'll have plenty of time to stream during the game without my battery running out. I did an hour and a half. Well, hold on. What's up, Prince? How you doing, sir?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
What's up, man? I'm glad you called in. So
yeah, buddy, I saw it on the chat, so you know how to do it.
Yeah. So I was going to ask you. This may not be relevant to everybody, but since you are a Clemson grad and a Charleston guy like me, give people a little bit of a piece of Prince 6'1" and tell them what it was like, because I didn't go to Clemson, so I can't. I mean, I had family members that went there. My wife went there. I spent a lot of time there, but from a actual Clemson graduate, someone who was on campus there, can you tell people what it was like? Because you hear a lot of people say, Alabama's got the best atmosphere.
Right.
Florida State, Notre Dame, Ohio State. Can you just give a little bit of insight into how awesome the atmosphere at Clemson is on game day?
Oh man, it was great because going to College of Charleston first. I actually signed. I don't know if I've told you this, but you can, if you actually you know my real name. You can do that later. But I actually signed to play baseball in South Carolina. I don't know if I told you that.
No, I didn't know that.
They offered me. Well, they offered me first, and I didn't get an offer, college scholarship offer from Clemson. So yeah, I signed there to play outfield. I graduated with a guy around here from Malden, Scott Wingo, and I was going to room with him, and I ended up getting injured. And, Charleston came along, offered me more money, so I went there and played baseball. And I'm kind of leading into it. So, I got to visit Carolina and Columbia on the campus. I had Reese Havens and Justice Smoke where, they took us on a tour of the campus. So I got to see. And Columbia is a lot like Charleston. It's like a city, so you get that kind of city vibe.
Yeah,
from, the college campus.
Like Georgia Tech.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and then... so I mean, I like Charleston. It was, I obviously love Charleston City, but the campus, just downtown area, it's not that great. So man, when I got a chance to go to Clemson, and Clemson's a lot like Athens, the small town, the
college
town
is
the center of the town.
Yeah.
Exactly. So there's not a lot of that in Charleston. It just doesn't feel like a campus. So man, when I got to Clemson, I fell absolutely in love. It's just you see nothing. It's nothing but students around there most of the time, and man, the lake right there is just amazing.
Multiple
lakes.
It
feels like a family. I was telling Tiger Nation. I mentioned him, man. It's just Clemson is the best way to describe it, is a family. It really is.
Yeah, it definitely is. Now you just said something that when you were offered by South Carolina to play baseball, you went and got toured around by Justin Smoke. I got to tell you a story, man. So you'll relate to this. So I guess it was, 2009 or 2008. It was when Justin Smoke was a senior in high school and was literally 2 weeks away from being drafted into the major leagues. I was you guys don't know this about me because I've never said it before, but I played a lot of competitive golf throughout my youth, all the way through high school.
Nice.
And I was at a golf course near where I live now, playing
Right.
golf one evening by myself. It was like 6 o'clock at night, and this guy came up behind me to play through, and he was by himself too. And he's like, "Hey, you know, we should just play through together." And I was like, "All right." So he's a rich guy from Daniel Island. He was like an whatever, some sort of engineer. Had an engineering firm, and he said, you know, "Hey man, you're a pretty good golfer. Would you like to come play at Daniel Island Club with me tomorrow? I'm a member out there, and we're looking for a fourth guy for our group." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'd love to." So the next morning, I went out there and met up with them and played. And guess who we were playing with? Justin Smoke.
Smoke.
Yeah, Justin
Did you
Smoke.
know it at first?
No, I didn't know. I didn't even know who he was when we got on the first tee. I don't follow baseball, but he introduced himself to me, and the guy said, "Hey man, this is Justin Smoke. He's about to be drafted in a couple weeks." And so we played two against two in that match. And the funny thing was, I played with this other guy who I didn't know any of them really, but and Justin Smoke played with the guy who invited me, and we whipped their ass. Now Justin Smoke, I will tell you this: he hit the ball like 330 yards every play, but he had no control, you know, over the ball.
Oh yeah, he's got baseball swing.
Yeah, and then so after the round, we were sitting in the clubhouse eating lunch, and there was a News 4 reporter. I can't remember the guy's name now. But the guy walked up to our table. He had been stalking Justin Smoke because the draft was coming up, and he's like, "Hey Justin, I've been calling your cell phone and this and that. Can you give me an interview?" And Justin Smoke looked at him and he was like, "Dude, I'm just here trying to play golf and eat lunch with my friends." Like, and then the dude walked away and he's like, "Man, that guy's been calling my phone, like coming to my house, like stalking the crap out of me." And you know, it was just funny. Anyway, so I have a story. Even though I'm not a baseball guy, that I played golf with Justin Smoke right before he got drafted. So there's my story.
That's so awesome. That's so, dude. I'm telling you, we're always on the same wavelength. That's so. I can't believe you just said that because. So, you know who Scott Wingo is? He was like on their championship team. He was the guy who scored the final run at the Rosenblatt Stadium before they moved to the new Omaha Stadium.
Yeah,
yeah, that was my roommate. That was like my best friend growing up, and you have like two hosts basically from the team that host recruits or whatever, like guys that'll sign. And our host was Mike Sisko, who went to Wando High School. Wando's there in Charleston.
Yeah.
It was Reese Havens from Bishop, England. And they were, they had at their Halloween party they have every year. So we're out at this bar, right? And I'm just sitting there, and this big old dude dressed like, he was dressed like a hillbilly. He looked like one of Uncle Lou's characters, like Natty Back Steve. And, man, I'm telling you, this dude's arms were just like massive. I mean, he just was real country as hell. So he just came up and sat beside me at the bar like I didn't know anybody. I mean, I was sitting there talking to the guy for like 20 minutes. I mean, I knew he was on the team, but I didn't know who he was. And it turned out to be Justin Smoke.
Yeah.
And because I'd never seen him before, but I heard the name a million times. And he was just like a real down to earth person.
Yeah, I will say,
idea.
I will say this: he was actually really cool. And the funny thing is when we met on the first tee that day. I have a Clemson golf bag. I was decked out in a Clemson shirt, Clemson hat. I mean, just totally Clemsoned out, and I had no clue who this guy was, right? And we flipped a coin to see who was gonna play against each other. And me and Justin Smoke flipped the same. We both flipped heads, and they were like, "You guys are on a team," and he's like, "Nah, I can't be on a team with a Clemson fan." And I was like, "Why not?" And he's like, and the other guy was like, "Because he's a Gamecock baseball player." And I was like, "Word." I was like, and I didn't know who he was. I was like, "Word." I don't want to be on a team with him either. So whatever.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a baller now, man. He was an all-star and big time player now in the majors.
Yeah, I follow him a little bit just because I follow all the local guys here. I'm from Charleston, so I follow the local guys, even though I'm not into baseball. But
right, yeah. And man, getting back to it, it's just with the campus and everything. Like, man, Clemson is the best way I put it to SEC people is Athens. Like, have you ever been to Athens?
No, I would love to go though. Yeah.
Oh man, we gotta go sometime. I told you I got family's got season tickets and stuff, so hopefully get down to a Clemson game, man. But yeah, man, if you ever get the chance, you got to go to Athens. It's a really cool college town down there too. It's literally just like Clemson.
Yeah. I've heard great things. I have some friends that have been there, and they say it's great. And I mean, there's all the college towns football programs are great. That's my knock on Miami, Georgia Tech, South Carolina, is that their cities don't revolve around the program like Clemson, Athens. Even my father-in-law, who's visiting me right now, he's in town, said he's been to he was in the Navy and he's been to Tuscaloosa, and he said that Tuscaloosa is a college town, but Tuscaloosa is still a bigger city than like Clemson is,
right?
Or even Athens. So but there's nothing to do in Alabama except for Alabama football. We all know that. It's a little bit different.
We all know how Deshaun got ran out of that bar, man. That pissed me off so bad.
Well, that was ridiculous.
Like most Alabama fans are even mad. I will say that. Like there's been a cool mutual respect with like most Alabama and Clemson fans. I've noticed that, and even UGA fans. Like we just, it hadn't been a whole lot of crap talking,
Yeah, I mean. In our lifetime, we haven't really had a real rivalry with Georgia.
Yeah, exactly.
And
maybe that's it. Maybe it'll get harsher down the road.
And we have had a rivalry with Alabama here in the past few years, but still, it's sort of like the two really. Let's be honest here, everybody, and I'm sure you agree because obviously you're a Clemson fan and you're a genius. But Clemson and Alabama have been the two best football programs for the past 4 years. They just have.
Oh, eight, yeah. Like Dabo just said, the second winningest program in the last 8 years is Clemson.
Yeah.
Next to Alabama only.
Yeah, and we beat more ranked teams than anybody else. We beat more top 10 teams than anybody else, other than Bama. So that's
for sure.
So the real recognize real. The saying. So. Yeah.
I love that. Even after that the championship game, when after watching through that pass, man, I watched the interviews with what's his name, Tim Williams, maybe the Alabama linebacker.
Yeah.
And stuff. And he's like those guys were like, yeah, I mean, they just had nothing but nice.
They were like,
there was like one of them who was mouthing off about the pig play, but for most of them, they were just like, I mean, it was a hard fought game. Like they won legit. So.
Yeah, even Reuben Foster was like, Deshaun Watson's the best football player I've ever played against. After that game,
right? Yeah. I like that guy a lot, man. That guy plays a lot bigger than he is.
He's a little bit nutty, but
Yeah, he's crazy. You got to be so is Bullware, right?
Oh yeah, he definitely is, and I really.
To be a linebacker, you got to be crazy, man. But what you're saying though, like for everybody, for all the younger guys here, I know there's a lot of younger guys that are in here, man. I would, if you want a real college experience, I would seriously recommend the smaller college town feel, because I've been to both, and I'm just telling you, man, if I could go back, I would have done my undergrad at Clemson. Like there's no doubt about it. I would have stayed there for 7 years. I loved it that much. Man, it's just I don't like that big city feel. It just don't feel like college when you don't get to walk around everywhere yourself. You got to drive,
Yeah.
It's just
well, so I see
drive everywhere, and
I see Uncle Lou's in the chat here. Welcome to the Pigskin Pete stream, Uncle Lou. So I have to say that. But yeah.
Well, I was tell Uncle Lou. I think I don't know if Lou's been to Clemson, man, but it's literally just like Athens. It's got that small town, like college town feel, man. I love the Athens and Clemson campus. Like you can't beat them.
Well,
I was actually the first caller today on Uncle Lou's live stream.
I know Uncle Lou likes to say Clemson's Auburn with a lake.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I'll be the first to tell you, Uncle Lou, Clemson is Auburn with 5 lakes. First of all. And I don't know if Uncle Lou's ever been to Clemson's campus. I don't think he has, based on what I've heard him say about it. I know he's been to South Carolina's campus, but I mean, I'm not saying I've never been to Athens, so I don't sit here and trash Athens campus. I never would.
Right.
I'm sure it's beautiful too, but I've been to 3 or 4 major. I've been to Virginia Tech. I've been to Penn State's campus. I've been to, well, I guess that's it, South Carolina and Georgia Tech. That's the only other ones I've been to. But
Georgia Tech is probably the worst campus. I couldn't imagine.
Well, it's in the middle of Atlanta. Nobody cares. Here's the thing: nobody in the city of Atlanta gives two craps about the Georgia Tech. Nobody. Period.
It's like Miami. That's why nobody shows up to the games.
Yeah. But Clemson's one of the most. It's one of the prettiest campuses and one of the coolest college towns in the country. And I know I'm a homer and I'm saying that, but it's just a fact. And I'm sure
it really, like, you're just right. Like, you've been to the games. Like, you see the atmosphere of tailgating. I mean, you know, there's people who invite you over to their tailgate. You don't even know them, and they'll give you food and beer. And, you know, I mean, that's how it is on campus, man. And, like, people. You know, a lot of people make fun of the South about how people stop and, you know, say hi, you know, talk to you. Like,
yeah,
that's just how it is on campus, man. Just people, like, they just care about you, you know? It's like a family. It really is.
And as far as football goes, you want a college town, not only college town, but you want where the football stadium, first of all, is not iconic, but in the middle of the campus. You know, unlike South Carolina, where it's
original Death Valley, actually.
Yeah, 20 miles away. 20 miles away between the DMV and the fairgrounds. I mean, come on, what is that? And Georgia Tech, is that even a football stadium?
I don't know what listen, it is. I think it's like rugby or something.
I'm pretty sure, and I'm not even trolling when I say this. I'm almost positive that my high school football stadium is bigger than Georgia Tech's, or at least as big. I mean, that thing is sad and pitiful and embarrassing.
Yeah, Tri-County has a bigger campus.
I'm not even kidding when I say that. I think that Georgia. How many people does Georgia Tech hold? 30,000 maybe? 40,000? I mean, I think I had more in my graduating class than that stadium holds.
It's pitiful, man. It's pitiful.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, hey, I appreciate you calling in, man. I really do.
Yeah, buddy, definitely, man. Anytime we'll get up together soon, man.
Yeah, well, I'll see you soon. I'll be in touch with you too. My phone's about to die and my computer, so this is a bad situation. But thanks, Prince.
I got you, Pete. Yeah, definitely, buddy.
All right, man. Yeah, good people there. Prince 6'1" is clearly a genius. I know that Einstein created the theory of relativity. I can't even speak. That means it's time to go. He's a genius. Okay, that's all I mean. So thank for you all for dropping in. Thanks for Uncle Lou for dropping in. Thanks for Tiger Nation. Chip Smith for joining the stream for the first time. He's a Clemson fan too. He's clearly another Einstein number 2, if you wish. And it was a lot of fun. I didn't plan on this stream. I got home really late, and you know, it is what it is. But thanks for everybody for dropping in. Until next time, it was a lot of fun. Pigskin Pete, checking out. I'm so tired. I have no energy, 0 energy right now. If there's a scale of 1 to 10 on energy level, I'm a -5, sort of like the South Carolina football program.